Hello, this is Anthony Woods again, and this is our fourth and final video on financial statement software, and that takes us to the the statement of cash flows from the balance sheet. Notice this value here, $15,200. This should be the cash at the end of our period. This is what should be reflected on the statement of cash flows. Once again, we will simply go up here and click on the button to press here for the statement of cash flows to bring up to that user interface screen software page, and it should bring up the statement of cash flows. Here we go with the statement of cash flows, financial statement. We have cash flows from operating activities. We have cash flows from investing activities amounts. We have cash flows from financing activities. We'll be entering in, and these will total up to the proper values for net cash provided by financing activities, for instance, net cash used by investment activities, and net cash provided by operating activities. We will input our value of net increase in cash here, cash at the beginning of the period. Okay, we will enter values such as 11,000, let's just say $200. You have minus $5,500 for your. The cash receipts for operating activities will be $11,200, and the cash payments for operating activities is minus $5,500. Purchased office equipment, we purchased around $5,000. We are issuing a common stock that was reflected on our balance sheet of $10,000. We issued new common stock of $10,000. Issued note payable of, let's just say, $5,000. Payment of dividend out to our shareholders, $500. We have a net increase in cash of, let's say, $15,200, and cash at the beginning of period is zero. We start off with zero at the cash at the beginning of this period, or the beginning of the period prior to October 31st, 2014. Let's just hit our enter key. See our dollar amount. They look nice and neatly formatted with dollar signs and decimal points and commas. 0 cents for the cents value, placement value. Since we input only whole numbers, hit the enter key. Let's calculate our values now. Okay, it looks good. Okay, we have cash receipts from operating activities, $11,200 minus $5,500 of cash payments for operating activities brings us to net cash provided by operating activities of $5,700. We purchased office equipment in amount of $5,000. Net cash used by investing activity balanced it out to the same amount of $5,000. We issued common stock of $10,000, issued notes payable of $5,000, and we paid out cash dividend to our stockholders of $500. Net cash provided by financing activities are $14,500. Okay. Net increase in cash of $15,200, and cash at the beginning of the period $0 in the beginning of our fiscal period. Cash at the end of the period is $15,200. This amount should reflect once again the amount of cash in a balance sheet reflected on your balance sheet here, for instance. That should be the same amount as this. This is how we arrive and know that we have a nice balance sheet between our income statement, our retained earnings statement, or our balance sheet, and our statement of cash flows. This concludes this fourth video on financial statement software presentation. Thank you. Greetings, everyone. My name is Anthony Woods, and I am the developer of this software for financial statements. I'm here today to present this software to students, instructors alike, and explaining how financial data flows from one financial statement into another. We have an income statement, a retained earnings statement, a balance sheet, and a statement of cash flows that I will present in 4 parts of this video presentation and demonstration. Also, on this income statement, and I've included, for instance, a calendar to indicate the date we're on, the date, and various buttons. One button to calculate the values of the fields that are entered. I have a clear field button to clear off the fields in case there's any errors or mistakes in inputting the values here in the text boxes. I have an enter button to format these dollar values into dollar signs and decimal points. You just enter whole numbers on this in these presentations, in these statements. Also, keep in mind you're only going to input whole numbers, no decimals. And you can input anything from hundreds of dollars, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, or billions of dollar amounts in here. Whole numbers only. The enter button down here at the bottom will, once it's clicked, will format it properly for you. No cents, no decimal points, no cents. Thank you. Now let us begin. When you look at a income statement, which is part of one of the financial statements used for accounting, you have to record things such as assets, liabilities, expenses, and revenues. For the income statement, revenues and expenses are mostly recorded on this statement, and they are recorded in the form of dollar amounts, and they're calculated. Revenue is expenses are subtracted from revenues that will give you the net income value. We're going to start here by entering some values in. For instance, $10,600 for service revenue. We will enter values of $5,200 for salaries expenses, $1,500 for supplies expenses. These are expenses that you are incurring in your business. Rent expense, I should say $900. Insurance expense $50. Interest expense $50, and depreciation expense, let's just say $40. Okay. Once you enter those values, you can tab down into the enter box here or button, and it will format those values accordingly to give you a good look of what those values look like in dollar display text fields. Once that is done, you can if you've made any mistakes, you can always clear the fields. It will start over at the top here to enter new values in. Then you can enter in new values in all of these fields, and then once again hit the click on the enter key, the enter button. Now you can just hit calculate, and it gives you a good amount here of service revenue minus total expenses. Will give you the net income of $2,860. It's as simple as that. That $2,860 will now be transferred and go over to the retained earnings statement, which is a next video coming up. I'm going to be producing this video shortly, so stay tuned. Thank you very much.